Welcome back to our room.
Almost as good as mine.
Okay, Robert. Do you want to give a shit today or not?
That you're destroying their investments.
Cry me a river. Besides, they still don't have a power source like mine.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
Pepper, find out who's
Like
on the
you're
game
mumbling
payroll.
into the
I need
mic
names
there,
for
dude.
systems designer.
And
Yeah,
it doesn't even
that'll
match
be
the
easy.
lip
You
sync
can't
by
just
any
get that off
means.
the
Oh,
internet.
I gotta love
No,
how Pepper's face is so ugly, but her cleavage is perfectly rendered.
Priorities.
Meanwhile,
Priorities.
What?
Yeah,
in the
they're
office.
dealing with the important things here.
But yeah, meanwhile,
they
Obediah
don't.
Stain is
You've
still
got
in the
everything you
office.
need. If you can't send the prototype,
Will he
I-
ever get out of there?
This is like a setup to a really bad running gag. Like,
Send it. It's not that simple. Make it simple.
so how exactly is he even supposed to do anything if he's stuck here?
He's
Hopefully
giving
we'll finally
orders.
get out one day.
Also, a statue of a samurai in the background for some reason.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I mean, also flashback time.
A Swiss account. Now, you could buy anything you want. All in
Yeah, they were trying to do some awesome Christopher Nolan take on the Iron Man story with a non-chronological narrative.
Or David Cage, like being Beyond Two Souls.
David Cage is just random.
Well,
Beyond
That's
Two
not a
Souls.
narrative. That's throwing
kept
darts at a
energy.
board.
Yeah.
They want power. They want your weapons.
Now we have a firm grasp of the obvious.
Whoa! Oh crap! Robert almost emoted there.
No
Almost.
You're almost there,
There's plenty of
dude.
money in this world, but only one mind of Tony Stark. You have used that mind to design brilliant weapons.
I create technology. Weapons are a byproduct.
And now these men want the same. And you cannot blame them for wanting what you so clearly possess.
Okay. Moving on.
Okay.
You know what they should have told Robert? You're an actor. Pretend to care.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
kind of your job to.
Pretend to care. Act like you care.
Anyway, A.I.M. apparently started to attack New York. Yes.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
sorry.
we're just throwing AIM into the mix now.
Remember, Joe, we were foreshadowed. Obadiah Stane was talking with them in our previous parts.
Honestly,
They were
Joe,
foreshadowed terribly.
Honestly, Joe, but that's probably how the development process of this game went anyway. Remember, Shira, that's kind of what I always keep saying in these things. Please act like you give a shit.
Yeah, that's the point of acting.
But whoa, sudden epic music of sorts.
Wow, music that actually sounds like it's trying for once in this game.
I thought we stopped all this.
Yes, Titanium Man is back, remember.
We got a recurring foe! Hoorah!
Don't worry, he dies in this mission.
Rue.
Not so reoccurring.
You're still around? We warned you. We told you to walk away. You should have listened.
Never should have come here.
Everybody out of here,
You-
now!
From this point on, you will
You're not
serve
planning anything crazy, are you?
us.
Define crazy. You interfere, Stark.
I gotta love how it's the same angle, and it's just, zoomed in or zoomed out for the transition.
Oh goody, shot reverse shot.
Yeah.
Polsky's launching an attack on Stark Industries.
Behold, the amazing boss battle.
Again, it functions. If the Titanium Man boss fight functions pretty much like the same as before. The only difference is that you don't have to go back to deactivate the giant railgun instead, and instead you keep getting barraged by everyone in the process because again, the game's definition of difficulty is literally throw every single laser and missile at you and a kitchen sink at the same time.
I'd rather watch the Titanium Man likes cheeseburgers YouTube.
Oh, look at that! Obadiah Stane is revealing his master plan, like this, in an intercom.
Yeah, stay with you behind in the middle of a battle here.
I wonder if maybe after God of War 5 gets made, maybe Sony can make another contract with Sony, maybe for Santa Monica to make a 4 game. They're the perfect developer for that.
Depends on if Marvel's playing ball on that. I mean, for now it's just Spider-Man for them, but maybe they may want to look into other studios, who knows.
I don't know, the only reason I'm saying is because Santa Monica is the perfect developer to make a 4 game.
Imagine a 4 game where 4 tries to hunt down... Well, Nah, not necessarily.
Narnia?
No, I was gonna say a 4 versus God of War crossover, seeing as how the new God of War series is looking into the Asgardians.
Well,
and
Joe, without
mythologies.
spoiling too much, let's just say that they are veering it through that direction.
Yeah.
Then we get to the end of the game, it turns out that Kratos is actually the Fury in disguise.
Totally.
Oh yeah, sure. Well, Kratos is always played by an African American actor, so. Maybe.
And before the accident in the first game, he was, black-skinned.
True. Yeah.
The thing is that he's being called the Ghost of Sparta because of the tragic accident that happened to him, but that's a story for the actual game. But yeah, your supposed secondary objective will be to deactivate these, I think they're like bombs. No, not bombs, but our Stark weapon crates. But at this point, I just pretty much ignored it and went against, Titanium Man, because at this point in the game I was just so tired. You haven't seen it, but a couple of missions had to be repeated, not because of game overs, but because of performance issues. At some point, the game even deleted my save file, not even joking.
Oh, it's one of those games.
Yeah. No. What I asked you instead was because the disc was so damaged that I needed that it didn't load the last level.
That actually happened to me when I first played Heavy Rain back in 2010. The game deleted my save file. Fortunately, since then, it was patched to a 2.0 version, so it doesn't do that anymore, thank God.
I'd hate to play a David Cage game and then find out my progress meant nothing, and it meant that I'd have to do it again.
Hey, it's the running theme with your choices not mattering.
If I had to delete my save file, I'd rather have it be meaningful.
Trust me, you're right. Like,
let me guess, Steel, like with Nier.
Well, that's intentional. It's,
that's what he means, though, by it being meaningful.
You're saying, Pedro?
No, it's one of that's the thing, Shiro. Like, one of the save data bug asides, one of the best way to enjoy Heavy Rain is to get the original PS, not the movie edition, the original 2010 release, and play it without the patch on, because save bug aside, the glitches in that original version are hilarious.
I can imagine. And there we go. Titanium Man is dead.
For reals this time, yo.
Holy crap, they actually managed to transition to a cutscene without freezing.
Again, I edited out to be more smooth.
Oh, never mind then. False alarm. For a moment there, I thought the game was working properly.
I'll be there soon.
But anyway,
Obastein's
Titanium Man's corpse behind.
Sorry. Oh, by the way, Obadiah Stane is evil, so we should probably go deal with that.
I'm actually wondering if this is a
doing the next cutscene. Yep. Oh, guys, look out! He's out of the office!
I had to talk to you.
Which means he's ready to pass on action.
Surprised.
But what?
So how did he get out?
You know how in the original movie,
like how Tony got out.
he uses his device to knock out Tony and then steals his co-reactor.
How could you do business with A.I.M? They're a sick bunch of...
Don't get on your high horse, Tony. Stark Industries is no better than they are. Your Iron Man suit is an incredible invention. Your Mona Lisa. You're keeping it to yourself.
What?
Imagine.
He wants to militarize the Iron Man suit.
Well, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but this does a better job than the movie of actually giving Stain a motive when it comes to the Iron Man armor. Objection pose.
Your original
Speaking of that, Job, it's funny you mention it.
Some men will do anything for money, Tony. Even you should understand that. The suit is a marvel. Only one problem. No
Yeah, good job this was made by Marvel. How awkward would it have been? This suit is a DC.
Nobody's as smart as you, Tony.
And they never will be.
Your life's been
Tony, you are so gonna eat those words when the content
he just teases him like Von Karma, and that's it.
Brilliant.
Wow, and like Jova pointed out, the objection pose and everything.
Yeah, he doesn't even steal his core reactor. He just leaves him there.
Which makes you wonder, how is he even
Never
going to
mind
power
core
the
reactor,
suit?
He needed the core reactor to power up the Iron Monger suit, that Joe just said.
So he's a he has more of a motive, but he's also more of an idiot.
Yeah,
Pedro?
I guess things even out.
Pick your poison, I guess. Also, Drebs. Well, to be fair, Drebs, in Dark
Oh,
Phoenix,
no,
the characters were taken away by the MCU.
Yeah. Also, hey, you see,
Yeah,
guys,
that
you know
bit.
what we're missing from this already severely flawed and unfunny game? A tower defenses less escort mission.
Oh, lovely.
I'm sorry, isn't this the point of the story where, you know, Stain is now the priority?
No, because now Pepper has been barricaded inside a Stark headquarters, and now A.I.M will bombard the shit out of it. So we need to block all the incoming missiles.
Why even? I mean, Tony, we're not gonna deal with Stain, you know, or at least maybe report him to the authorities?
Nah. He'll be fine, Jova. Don't worry.
Yes, there's a madman who owns a bit of the company now within the ranks, and we're not even gonna teach the authorities about
Not
it.
just that, Jova. Even after this, we're gonna be like 1 or 2 missions before confronting the Iron Monger suit.
Jova, it's like in Knight's Journey of Dreams. Doing a new chore in the middle of another chore is fun.
I mean, okay. At least with Knight's Journey of Dreams, you dealt with the bad guys before getting to the mini games.
Well, actually, I was talking about Reala. Remember, Reala is supposed to do something for Wiseman, but then all of a sudden gives the key to fucking Will, and just allows him.
Isn't Rihanna supposed to be the Shadow the Hedgehog equivalent?
Okay.
No. Reala is well, kind of. Yeah, he is the dark counterpart of Knights, but it doesn't work in the same way character-wise.
Although, Pedro, to be fair, Riala doesn't give the key to Will. That's probably Ralph's parody video of Nights into Dreams you're thinking of, where he gives the key to Will.
True.
Jova, question actually regarding this is on the subject of comic book stuff.
Yes.
While it was in theaters, did you ever get to see, or did you at least hear about that Spider-Man musical?
Oh yes. Who didn't hear about it and the many injuries it caused? Although, okay.
Did you see it?
Yes.
Oh, which one? The one where the that weird spider goddess was the villain, or the one where they did it the other way around and the Green Goblin was the villain?
You're talking about Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know about Spider Goddess.
Apparently, James told me that he was in one of the first drafts.
Oh, that! Right, that.
Anyway, this mission is extremely painful because, as you can see, the missiles are coming all over the place and you can't possibly humanly stop all of them. Worst of all, you can't see the avatar of the thing that you're protecting, the building that you're protecting. So, of course, you have to basically give an estimation of, how much damage is giving you. Jarvis will occasionally telling you core reactor at like 75%, but that means jack shit, because I tested it. You potentially get a game over just like 2 minutes in if you don't do anything. So I honestly don't know what criteria the game is using to determine the damage quantifier.
Anyway, you were saying, Jova?
The Spider-Man musical, it's funny. Basically, there's this segment where the Green Goblin infuses the DNA of people with these other things. So, of course, you get stuff like a rhino or a scorpion. However, one of the test subjects somehow gets scissor hands, which means he gave her the DNA of a pair of scissors.
What?
Hey?
Hang on, do you mean, okay, knives or just straight up scissors?
Knives and scissors, actually. The DNA.
Are you sure he didn't give him the DNA Wolverine?
No. Apparently, it's literally knives and scissors that are her special qualities, because everyone else has the DNA of this mixing.
And apparently the musical was so bad, everyone was taking the piss out of it. Even Sesame Street of all shows.
Wait. Sesame Street? Oh, no, this I gotta hear.
It's on Daily Motion. I'll show you a bit later if you have the time. It's only a few minutes.
Also, there you go. Your secondary objective supposedly is the fact that these Tesla rings that you've seen can potentially restore health to the complex. Again, I need to trust the game in telling me this because there's no bar on the HUD that tells me that. But the enemies will start attacking them, so your secondary objective will be protecting all of these. And I say, fuck you, game, because it's again physically impossible. And remember, I'm playing on easy mode. Imagine this shit on hard mode.
Ew.
Also, to be honest, Jova, considering there's a Sesame Street skit where Kermit psychologically abuses and manipulates Cookie Monster for the purpose of being able to tell children what a circle is, I'm not surprised by anything that show does.
I still think my favorite thing is where Sesame Street officially had a crossover with Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that.
Apparently it had a better ending than the actual show.
Exactly.
You know what? Yes, it did.
Hold on, wait for it. Actually, no, go on. Sorry, my bad, because it's happening later.
It's like he just ate the circle. That's the kind of thing that makes me be mad. I'm gonna talk about being mad. This is what happens when you're mad. And then he suddenly starts shouting at Cookie Monster.
So, Shiroi, are you also a Game of Thrones fan?
I was being very amused at watching my mother binge watch the entire thing in 1 month.
Oh, what was her reaction to the final season then? Was it, akin to everyone else's?
Yes, and it was funnier because everyone else had been watching it, for years. But my mother, because she wanted to see what all the fuss was about, she watched every season, sans the finale, within the month before it aired. So seeing her go, mood whiplash from, oh my god, I love this, to, oh my god, that was crap.
Wow. I have to say, Game of Thrones is one of those rare examples where apparently the ending is really that bad, apparently to tarnish the entire series in the eyes of fans.
Unfortunately, yes, and
it really was terrible.
I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know what specific is to be blamed into the enemy. It's easy to say, oh, it's D&D that they don't know how to write, but then again, part of the previous seasons were still written by them, and they did not have the book advantage they had no material to be based on. They needed to work with what they had established until that point. And honestly,
that was the issue. They kind of had to Full Metal Alchemist it.
Yeah, or the first season, the first adaptation of Helsing. But it's been, like I said, the season 8 was still, relatively. The previous season, the penultimate season, was relatively still fine. The last season that practically dropped the ball. And keep in mind, they took an extra year because they said they wanted to make it, perfect. So I really genuinely wondered what happened in that. But,
what are you talking about, guys? They wanted to go off and make that Star Wars trilogy that they were gonna do.
Thoughts. But again, as a person who has read the book even before they started making the TV series, honestly, I'm perfectly fine with this because this pretty much will tell me that George R. R. Martin will take this as an example and will actually properly give a decent finale in the book. So screen cap this shit. I don't care.
And then we'll get Game of Thrones Brotherhood Edition to fix things.
pretty much.
I just hope this doesn't bode badly for Elden Ring. Elden Ring, it's the next From Software game, and George R. R. Martin is cooperating.
Well, keep in mind, Pedro, Martin has stopped pretty much even being a consultant of Game of Thrones for a long time. So for this last season, he barely had any fault here.
From what I've heard, George...
By the way, this is still going.
From what I've heard, Martin has practically nothing to do with how bad the finale turned out.
If anything, the major guilt that Martin has to be taken upon is sorry to talk about this one. Basically, now the enemy is having a last desperation attack, where he throws every single missile that he can at you. Or isn't he done yet? Well, even so, he's about to do it, and you will see in a second. Oh yeah, he's about to say.
Affirmative, sir.
You know, I can't believe I'm saying this. Jarvis sounds like he's bait. That should not be a problem. Like, Jarvis is supposed to sound serene, but this version of Jarvis sounds like he's high.
There you go, he's about to happen. Survive the missile barrage and survive me.
Mr. Stark, this new battery you put in me is making me feel
Okay, I don't know, I know that Shiri can't, but for you others, the radar is a good indication of the bullshit of these last special attacks. The missiles are coming from literally every single direction, and your impulse repulsor blast can only do so much with them.
See now,
how am I supposed to perfect this shit?
See now, if this were the movie, Tony would show that his armor has a special force field barrier or something to refract all the missiles. You'd think that they would, you know, give something like that for this game, but no, you're just stuck with the repulsor ray, unibeam, and all that. Like, I mean, okay, the problem with this game is similar to the problem with the Green Lantern video game. It's way too limited for its own good.
Oof. Barely made it.
Just made it.
It's over, Pepper. We're leaving.
Yeah, thank God.
You sound so
And that's
concerned.
what he said when he left the studio.
I'll say this during the next mission.
This is absolutely out of control. I'm gonna talk to Washington and see if I can...
No.
Tony.
What?
Later, I'm bringing Pepper home.
Okay.
Later, I'm bringing Pepper home.
That doesn't
get me my booze. No, you can't take my bottle. I want my bottle.
you know, this would explain why he's acting this way if, you know, they just said he's drunk the entire time.
This game could be the perfect PSA against the legalization of weed.
Oh no, he's back in the office.
Wait, so he's still in the office and Tony hasn't done a damn thing against him.
I just want to point out we're missing only 2 scenes with Obediah staying outside of his fucking office.
Yeah, can Tony just fire him?
You would
Does
think.
he have like a bed in one of the corners or
Yeah,
something?
Tony doesn't do that. He doesn't fire him. He just lets him stay around the office to do God knows what.
I mean, I don't think he even does that in the movie.
No, she was in that building where you need to protect.
Please. I get that, but we didn't see him getting her out of there.
And now I'm gonna take them down.
Tony, no.
At least
Please
he
look at
didn't
my
die.
cleavage, Tony.
Trust me, I designed those weapons, Pepper. I'm the only one that can do this.
But what about Stain? He tried to kill you.
And A.I.M tried to kill both of us. Stain won't leave. A.I.M is desperate.
Basically, the excuse of the game is that A.I.M is a higher priority.
And that's exactly
Tony, again, why don't you just fire Stain? Like, have him be kicked off the premise.
Bobby's got a plan. I need to know what it is.
Sorry, Joel, we need to stretch the game out. Oh god, the air.
Be careful.
Why didn't they do that in the movie? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, okay, to be fair, in the movie, Tony didn't know what Stain was up to until, like, you know, near the very end, and by that point, Stain had kind of taken the core out of
It's time for another villain to show up, the Melter. You don't remember him? Don't worry, nobody does. He's literally one of the more obscure Iron Man villains, and I have no idea why they picked him for this game.
I don't think even the cartoon did him.
No.
So how long is he around for?
Put this mission
One
alone.
chapter.
Okay.
To be fair, they give him a decent decent introduction at the very basic, the very least. But it's not enough.
Yeah.
Did you complete the analysis of the cannon?
Jarvis did. It's devastating.
Yeah,
It's devastating.
you can tell by the tone of my voice.
Already.
I'm so enthused.
I'm serious. He starts sounding more and more stoned as the game goes on. Like,
It really does.
You know, maybe this should be something that people should ask at Robert Downey Jr. at cons. Like, how was voice acting for the official video game adaptation? I'm pretty sure he can't disclose information at this point.
yeah.
It's been long enough.
Besides, the studio who made this game is shut down by now, and Sega doesn't have anymore the license.
Also, he's given up the role anyway, so...
Well, is still appearing for series
in the What If series.
And the Black Widow movie, yeah.
Wait, he's showing up in the Black Widow movie?
Yeah, it is doing it.
Remember, Joe, the Black Widow movie takes place after Civil War, but before Infinity War.
Oh!
Yeah.
Huh. What's even the point?
Well, maybe we will have a good reason for explaining that.
I would hope so. I mean, okay.
Black Widow is one of the more popular characters, and
no. I get that, but
for a Black Widow movie, believe it or not.
I get that. I mean, but you'd think if you're, from what I was told, this movie was supposed to be a prequel teaching us the origins of Black Widow. But apparently, if this takes place after Civil War, then
well, again,
origins were already told in Age of Ultron. To be fair,
at this point, we don't know that much aside from where the movie is taking place and who's the villain, or at least one of the villains.
What are you talking about? Those stock images of ballet dancers are all we needed to see.
Yeah, totally.
And Tony died. Oh well. Oh no, mine is fine.
Anyway, what I was saying before, Pedro, is that the real guilt that you can impute to George R. R. Martin is laziness, because the fat bastard takes his sweetest time to write the books, and the making of the Game of Thrones TV series slow him down even more. So now that it's over, here's people defend the books like me can hope that he's timely can get his ass off the chair and start
making a spin-off series. Right, Tio?
Considering they were so bent on making one until a couple of weeks ago, but then they went, oh no, we're canceling and making another one instead. I'm not sure if the company, I think it's HBO, knows what it's doing anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them to cancel.
Also, Teo, that's the thing, Teo. It seems to be a common thing in these licensed Marvel games. Because remember, the Hulk 2003 game also had a lot of obscure Hulk villains.
There's nothing wrong with having an obscure villain.
Just make them stick around if you want, to them to show up properly, or at least pace them better. Oh, okay, we're about to get him.
I mean, I'll admit, even the Hulk 2003 game pays some of its villains better. Some, not all.
There he is. And his costume is very unimpressive.
Time to end this little spat.
What was that? But here's the thing, remember, Spider-Man Shattered Dimension managed to include a couple of villains that were more obscure, for the standard of Spider-Man, or in alternate versions for, mind you, and managed to be, smooth and elegant enough to, properly have just single levels dedicated to them. So I don't know what this game excuse. But anyway,
that villain looks like to me.
Let me explain this. Hold on. Basically, your side objective is how you defeat the villain. You can tackle the Melter directly, or you can completely just ignore him and destroy the A.I.M giant gun. If you do that, the level is over and the Melter gets defeated by the explosion, I think. So, you just open, I guess. Anyway, you were saying,
to me, he looks like a half-assed cosplay and an unfinished one at that of Pokemon's Digivolution in Pokemon Digimon Season 3.
Oh, Tailors.
Yeah. What a riveting level. Pew, 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 pew.
We call half-finished cosplays casual cosplays, do we?
Yes. Like the people who cosplay as Sid version of Advent, the Advent Children's version of Sid Highwind. Why? Because his attire is one of the simplest I ever seen in the entire franchise. It's just a shirt and a pair of trousers. The end.
Did the Mora design that one?
Yes. Remember, and keep in mind, Libs, Sid's attire is actually one of the more colorful one, because everyone else look like they're dressing up for a fucking funeral.
I mean, and I get it, that Earth is dead, but by God, she's been dead for a while,
don't
guys.
Don't get me wrong, I actually appreciate the costume changes in Vegan's RPG. For example, Ramza in Fantasy Tactics changes costume like 3 times, I think, between classes. I just don't. Yeah. I guess it was the Advent Children, the black. The blackness was supposed to be reflective of the edginess of a Me 2000.
That's part of the
what-
problem.
I'll reserve that for when we actually get to the movie, because we're actually almost done with dealing the gun. Also, as you can see, everything was from...
Whoa.
What happened to the sound?
We're replacing with an awesome song. And yes, the melter was killed by the explosion.
Oh.
Organs technology.
So high and by, basically.
Pretty much.
Like, Jesus,
Okay,
this has
okay,
got to be
okay,
some of the
Tail.
hugest
Here's an
disrespect to a
idea.
cast of characters.
Maybe, just maybe, you could have, removed Blacklash from the Maja level and then Melter introduced in that one, and this being the final showdown with him. Think you could have done that game?
I'll say this too. At the very least, Flux, we actually fought him in Octopus.
Yeah. Anyway, see you for the next part for the epic conclusion where Obediah will finally get out of the office for good and get the Iron Monger.
See ya.
See ya.